Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Howson, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit of look at what's going on with Bruno Fernandes. Does the data stack up to suggest that anything has happened in his game? Because the current mood and the current thought around what's going on with Bruno Fernandes seems to be that this season he's absolutely garbage. Loads of people are demanding that he's dropped. Loads of people are questioning his place in the team. Loads of people are starting looking at how often he loses the ball, how often he is having unsuccessful passes. All of these different things, all of these people are putting pressure on Bruno Fernandes. Is he suffering? What's going on with him? So I think you can probably suggest that Bruno Fernandes has been a little bit of a victim of his own success at Manchester United. He's come in and he's had 79 goal contributions in like 101 games or something like that. Bruno Fernandes has been an extremely productive player for Manchester United. Whether he's played as 9.5 or a 10 or an attacking midfielder, whatever sort of justification you want to put on that, what you can't say is that he hasn't been productive. And no matter what percentage of those has come from the spot, I think he's still one of the most productive midfield players in top 5 European leagues, despite whatever else is going on. Now, this season, this poor season that Bruno is having, this season alone, he's got 14 goals and assists in 22 games. He's created the most chances in the Premier League. The most, right? Not the most in the United squad, the most. He's got the most key passes in the Premier League. He's got the most assists in the Champions League. He's created the most chances in the Champions League. His pass completion is largely the same. In fact, it's better than last season. Last season, it was 76.2. This season, 77.3%. His average unsuccessful touch percentage and dispossessions in the Premier League and the Champions League. Last season, unsuccessful touch percentage, 1. This season, it's 1.7. Last season, average dispossessions per game, 1.3% per game. 1.3 per game, sorry. This season, it's 1.2 per game. There's nothing in either his pass completion or his unsuccessful touches or dispossessions per game. Nothing in it. Certainly not a statistical difference that you could make. Data suggests that he's playing largely and fairly similar to how he played since he arrived. The production is a little bit less than what we've become accustomed to. And because fan tolerance and fan intelligence is at an all-time low, people are looking at the game, and I know I've just said stats, but people look at people don't look at the game and see evidence supported with stats. They look at stats in isolation and think it means something. For instance, he lost possession 33 times, or 28 times, I think, 27 times, I think, the other day, last game. Okay. What does that realistically mean? All right, great. Cancelo lost it 33 times same weekend and was fantastic. The difference? One was getting assists and one wasn't. That's the difference. People used to call Cristiano Ronaldo a clinical finisher. He's one of the least clinical finishers the world's ever seen. He's effective. He's an absolute goal machine. He ain't clinical. Ronaldo, at one point in his career, was taking 10.8 shots per goal. Elite finishers are taking... Elite finishers can do it in 3.5. Really, really, really top-level finishers can do it in 4. The average is more like 6. United are performing worse than they were last season, hence our position in the table, hence why the manager was fired. Last season we had more points and we were higher up the table. There was less adversity. There was more highlights for Bruno because of the very high risk reward sort of style of play that he has. Has he been affected by the dip in form of others? Has he been more impacted by the poor defence, the shockingly poor defence that we've had? Has he been impacted by the fact Cristiano Ronaldo's come and taken a bit of shine and some of his match-winning goals that he would have had and some of the match-winning penalties that he would have had have now become Cristiano Ronaldo's? Like I said earlier, 79 goal contributions since he arrived. The slander is not justified on Bruno Fernandes. Does he need to simplify his game to help with the ball retention? Maybe. I don't necessarily see him making terrible decisions in our half of the pitch. I see him being a very risky player in the final third. And there's a few people just completely question the stat that I often throw out, which is two of the most dispossessed players in world football are Messi and Kevin De Bruyne. And they go, no way, I'm not having that. Okay, it's a statistical reality. I couldn't find the one which mentioned Messi being the one. But I found the one last week, I tweeted it last week, about De Bruyne being the most dispossessed player in European football. You accept your creative players being dispossessed. You don't accept your centre-half being dispossessed or your goalkeeper being dispossessed to this sort of level, because they're supposed to be playing 100% passes. They're supposed to be playing certain passes. They're supposed to be playing safe passes to move the ball up the pitch. You won't get an assist if every pass you make in the final third is a safe pass. You have to take risky passes. You have to try and thread a ball in between two centre-halves. You have to put it over a centre-half on the off chance that someone else could nip in and grip it. You don't see these sort of questions coming out about the likes of De Bruyne and about the likes of Jack Grealish, Lukaku, nearly £200 million worth of players that are doing nothing this season. Absolutely nothing. You don't see De Bruyne called out when he goes some serious amount of weeks without scoring a goal. You just don't. United get treated different. We always have been treated different. But at the moment, what's wrong with Bruno Fernandes right now? The rest of the team isn't performing. He's doing what Bruno Fernandes is. He's doing what he always does. And he's probably doing what he always will do. Now, I do think that there's a bit more to it than this. I think that there's probably have him adapt to a slightly different style of play. I think his start position is extremely high, and I think he could be very, very important in the team in the centre of the pitch. But I do think that there's other ways to do this, and there's better ways to do this. But yeah, I don't think there's as much of an issue. Fergal says, I did that analysis on your 5 things up to the City game, and the majority of things said about Bruno immediately after the games were positive. Maybe recency is the problem for people. That's interesting. Yeah, Fergal did some analysis. I saw that, which was about what the 5 things were, and positive and negative about the team, about different players, about the manager and all that sort of stuff. It was really interesting. We should probably, I should probably do an analysis of your analysis. We should probably do that as some Patreon content. But yeah, that's the top and bottom of it. Is Bruno is being largely productive for Manchester United, extremely productive actually for Manchester United, and it's just a simple case of we haven't had the defence to match up to it. We haven't had the results to match up to it. But Bruno's doing what Bruno does. Anyway, there was a cheeky little Patreon video dropped yesterday. If you want to go and find out what's occurring with everyone. Has that manager news broke yet? I did see someone reply to it in the comments on Patreon with exactly who it was. So maybe some of you are onto it. But cheers for tuning in as usual. I'm not expecting the game to go ahead on Saturday. So we're going to be probably doing some 5 things and some content. If you'd like to see us do some more analysis on someone, maybe 5 things we've learned about Ralph so far in the first few games, anything along those lines, 5 players that United might bring in January, let me know in the comments and we'll get to it today and tomorrow, and we'll make sure you got plenty of content coming out this weekend. Cheers for tuning in. And if you're in, actually, if you're in Manchester and you're not usually from Manchester, or even if you are, fuck it. If you're in Manchester for the game this weekend, which is probably not going to go ahead, and you are still looking at coming to a game, Paddock FC, 3 o'clock at Nichols. We could win. I think it'll be our 9th consecutive league game, and we've got the potential to go, 11 points clear, I think, if results go our way this weekend. So if you want to come and get down, come get down. We're scoring all sorts of fucking goals at the moment. If you want to check out the Patreon, the link is in the description. I'll catch you fuckers in a bit. Laters.